hello, hello, hello.
What is up?
What's up, everybody?
It's been a while.
It's been a month.
Exactly? Did you check?
Something like that, like
Okay.
4 and a half.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Feels like longer, though, because, you know.
Because we're bad at this.
But,
And,
I mean,
you know,
there's worse people, I'm sure.
that's true.
Remember those people that just do, like, one podcast and, like, this is my life now, and then they just quit?
Yeah,
We've all had those friends.
we have. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm proud of us. Because even though we only have about, 10 listeners regularly?
Yeah, we do. Shout out to the terrific 10.
Shout out to all 10 of you, you know. If you can fit your entire audience base into 2 cars, you're doing something right at least.
You're doing something right by at least 10 people.
Exactly. So, you know, at least we're sticking through it. Welcome to Season Dose.
Season Dose. And for those non-bilinguals such as Macaulay and myself, that means 2.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Because we realized, well, shit, we have 10 episodes under our belt, and we're not quitting anytime soon, no matter how small our fan base is.
Or how much you want us to stop and beg us and plead us to.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, what are you doing? You're wasting your life. This is so stupid.
We're not.
You know, we are possibly, but who cares? It's our life. So this is Season 2. We realized, shit, we took a very long break. Might as well just start over.
Cut it off. I mean, not start over.
Not
just
start
like
over.
start
Restart.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Season 2, babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
You stuck with us this long. It's only going to get better from here.
Mm-hmm. You know what I realized we don't ever do?
Make out.
That, and we never introduce ourselves.
I mean, you got to think about like the people who are actually listening didn't stumble upon this. They saw something about either of us posting on Facebook or
You're right, but I will say this.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I will say this, though.
Yeah.
It's a good habit to have if we're going to stick with this.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, what if? You never know.
Yeah. They could just come in and be like, who are these fools? I don't even know.
Yeah.
They're obviously, not cool, but other than that, I know nothing.
Yeah. So
what's your name, sir?
my name is Pendleton the Fifth.
You stole my name. All right. My name is... This is totally a real name that I'm coming up with because it's on my birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to like Kaiser Soze this name, but all the shit in my room is super... Like, my name is Bob's Burger.
My name is Pokemon. There's no play like it.
My name is Buzz Lego Lightyear.
My name is a Great Ball.
That could be like a basketball thing or a porn name.
Or both. All right. Well, my name is Macaulay.
And I'm John.
And this is the We're Not Cool podcast, babies.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry we've been away for so long, folks. Just not like you needed an apology because y'all were like, oh, thank God.
Right?
But we're back.
Another hour of my week I don't have to spend doing nothing.
Yep.
Listen to these fools talk.
Exactly.
Just kidding. But we're here, and we are staying for a while, or
Hopefully.
good.
Yes. Oh, it will be for good.
For good.
We will
Not
try
for
to
evil.
get on a... For good, not for evil. We're going to try to get on a actual schedule, though.
Yeah.
'Cause
Hectic work, school, and summer life.
You know, spending all that time on the beaches of Colorado, flexing my muscles.
And getting them honeys.
Yep. But, John, I need to talk to you about something that's been bothering me for the past few hours or a few weeks.
Hours? I mean, that's not the biggest issue, but if it happened today, then it's understandable.
Happened a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Let's hear what Macaulay's gripes of wrath.
Gripes of Wrath. Remember SourceFed Nerd?
The lovely show where they introduced such characters to us as Maude Garrett and Sam Basher, and gave us
Phillip
joys.
And Whitney.
See, I only listed the 2 that I really cared about. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
that's fair.
Phillip kind of creeped me out, and Whitney was just like, she seemed cool, but she was like super heavy metalhead, and that just scares me.
That's fair.
So, Sam and Maude.
Sam and Maude, that's fair. And then back in the older days, Steve Zaragoza.
Oh yeah, gotta love Steve.
Meg Turney and all of those folks. It had a special place in my heart. And then they got canceled because they were under a corporate
umbrella.
because apparently that's a thing that corporations do now with YouTube, because they're like, oh shit, we were bagging on these people and they're making all the money.
Yep.
So they bought them, supported them, and they're like, ooh, shit, you guys are just starting to grow again. So we're going to cancel you guys.
Oh, brilliant idea. Promotion for this fellow.
And I lost my mind the first time. I was like, oh no, I legitimately cried. And then not very long after that, they got bought out by Now This. You've probably seen a lot of Now This stuff on Facebook.
This. Oh yeah.
Now This Nerd is the new name of the channel. They didn't even start a new channel. They just bought a channel with a subscriber base, and
which
like,
was over 1 million.
Over 1 million. Now they're at 930,000. Thank God. But
all the rest of the people just haven't remembered to unsubscribe yet.
Yeah,
because they posted all of like 6 videos in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, basically.
When SourceFed was posting like 2 a day.
Yeah, they're killing it, man. And yeah, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna just swoop in and take this channel with all of its subscribers as if nothing happened. We're not even gonna hire the old hosts, and it'll be all right. Yeah. And whoever's idea that was, just what an idiot.
And from what I've seen of the new hosts, not impressed.
Not great at all. People they didn't realize like nobody came to SourceFed Nerd just for the nerd news. You can find that everywhere. They came for the hosts, you know.
Exactly.
So that just bummed me out.
And we are all we're all experiencing a great loss this past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Just because a good channel, like I didn't know anything about it until McCowie introduced it to me and started watching every episode with Sam or Maud.
Yeah.
Then Maud left, and now she does other stuff, so I watch all her other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now Sam has his podcast, so we've been keeping up on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of an empty hole in my YouTube watching.
Basically, yeah. That podcast, Only Stupid Answers. If you want a way better version of this podcast, check out Only Stupid Answers.
I mean, kind of. They only have like over 1 million listeners.
I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Enough to support a Patreon.
Yeah. And they have
Speaking of Patreon, did you know we're going to start? I'm just kidding. I don't understand Patreon. Like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm not important enough for people to be like, hey, I just want to pay you to talk more at me.
Yeah.
Monthly. Like,
Yeah.
I'd understand like a Kickstarter type thing where it's like a one-time fee.
Yeah.
And then you get all the access, but no, Patreon's a monthly thing.
It is. That's right. Mm-hmm.
And I just never understood like, oh, I want to subscribe to this particular person in particular.
Yeah. We're not important enough.
No, but they are. They just got to that point.
Yeah.
Which I always. So that's something I want to talk to you about. You know how they're always like, you know, we have all these sponsors to keep the lights on and keep doing this. It's like they were doing it well before, and they seem to be having fun and enjoying it. But I don't see it as like they're both still looking for work, I think, and DJ's finishing up his comic book and Sam's doing Sam stuff.
Yeah. Like you're wondering why they need the sponsors as much as they do?
No, the fact that they're trying to justify it to us by like, hey, we can keep doing this because of these sponsors. It's like, no, you could do this without sponsors.
Yeah.
It does not take that much time to have opinions and express them for an hour a week.
That's true. But at the same time, like, you know, if you work in the entertainment industry and or the media-esque type thing, whether it's pop culture related or whatever, I mean, it's still time you could be using otherwise. Like, this is not something we get paid on.
No.
Our money comes in from literally anything else. But theirs, it comes from doing what they do. Yeah. So I kind of understand it. Yeah. And I don't mind it. I'm like, you know,
but
whatever.
Like, I think I checked their Patreon page like last week. They're making like $1,500 a month.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, that would get you like, that's almost a job.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because that's what they do. They're all in this pop culture reporting type thing, and
then they're also doing the Patreon itself is money coming in, and then sponsors.
But I think the way the sponsors work, it's like they don't just get. I think they get paid like a base amount to say it on their podcast. Yeah, but it's not too much. I think how it works is like depending on the people that use their coupon codes or promos or whatever. Yeah. Depending on how many people use it on every website, that's how they get paid.
That's fair.
So,
that would make sense.
Yeah. So I don't mind it at all.
But I don't mind the fact that they have sponsors. It's just the fact that they're lying to us about the podcast stopping if they didn't have sponsors. It's like I listened to at least 6 episodes where you guys had no sponsors.
That's true.
and they were just as good as the new ones that get it interrupted at least 5 times an hour for sponsors.
Yeah. I don't care. I realize, like, if I like the hosts, I don't care too much about the sponsor spots.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Moving past my issues with lying podcast... I'm just kidding. And Macau's issues with corporate takeovers and sellouts. Let's move on to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
What we watched, played, read, and did the last month we were away from you folks.
I've done nothing.
Yep. Me too.
All right.
Good podcast.
See you guys next week.
All right.
Subscribe.
This has been John and Macau. Anyway. No, we've been kind of busy, and by busy we mean going and sitting down on our asses for 2 or 3 hours watching movies, and new ones this time, not just 4 or 5 weeks after the fact.
Yep.
We saw, what do we see, Macau?
We saw King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Legend of the Sword.
The Sword.
And we saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And then we saw a movie I didn't want to see, but I'm glad I did. Alien Covenant.
Because
I'm a little bitch boy.
It's true. But he realized how much fun it is to get scared shitless in
thrillers, yes.
Yes.
I'm still not a fan of horror stuff.
So I couldn't take you to the Possession of Emily Rose or
I'm not down with scary movies, man. Like thrillers, I realize they're not really scary. It's just like that rush of adrenaline. Yeah. So it's not really scary. I was mistaken on that, but scary movies, no.
But
life is already scary enough.
It's true. But other than the movies that we will talk about at a later time today, Macau went and saw some comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Comedians. I never understood, can you say comedian if it's like a woman comedian?
I think some people say that, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
General comedians, they happen to be dudes, but girls can be funny too, unless you're Amy Schumer.
John has strong feelings about
do.
Amy Schumer. Man.
Anyway.
Well, I find it weird with professions when you add a profession should just be that word and it means male and female because it's a profession.
Professional.
Right? How can a profession depending on how you name a profession? I mean, how does it comedian versus comedian?
No, it's comedian. I think is what. It's
comedian,
Anne, Anne, the name Anne at the end of comedian.
No, but actual female comedians, people say comedian.
N as opposed to Anne?
E-N-N-E, yeah.
E-N-N-E.
Mm-hmm. Comedian.
Got it.
Yeah.
As opposed to waiter and waitress, actor, actress.
Yeah, even with those, I'm just it's a profession.
Which would be both actor or actress?
Probably actor.
Yeah.
Because
what about
actor doesn't denote gender.
Right.
Actress, because of its relation to the word actor, it does.
Yeah.
So I'm maybe in that way it's a little demeaning because it's just you're both doing the same thing. But
true.
I don't know.
But anyway, besides our issues with gender equality, inequality, should I say.
The world is an unfair place.
True that. Tell us about the various funny people you saw.
Ooh, baby. So I saw 2 stand-up specials on Netflix since we last did this. And the first one is by Neil Brennan. If you don't know who Neil Brennan is, do you know who Neil Brennan is, John?
I don't.
You don't, or do?
I don't. Do not.
Don't. Neil Brennan co-wrote with Dave Chappelle on Half-Baked, that gem of a movie, and The Chappelle Show, the famous Chappelle Show. So that's kind of what he was mostly known for. And then after that, after Dave Chappelle left the Chappelle Show and all that, Neil Brennan started kind of making his, he had a podcast with Moshe Kasher, that comedian, for a while called The Champs, which was really funny. But he started getting into his own comedy, his own stand-up stuff. And, recently, I don't know how recent, I didn't check the date on it, but he had a special called 3 Mics. John, are you familiar with that show?
You're the one that watched them, man.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of here listening to the opinion and whether I should watch them or not.
Okay, well, I only
Such
say
as
that.
our audience.
Yeah, I only say that because I don't want to hijack the conversation like I always do.
I don't know what you're talking about, Macau. You're always so sharing and thoughtful.
I talk a lot, and I'm sorry.
He's a monster.
I know. I am.
Anyway, what is a 3-mic show, Macau?
Well, it's not a 3-mic show. It's not really a thing.
Are there 3 Michaels on the stage?
Yeah, it's Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and some guy named Mike Williams from CVS.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah, they just needed they needed a normie on the stage with them. No, so his special is called Three Mics, and it's a really cool thing because I haven't seen anyone else do something like this. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's the only one. But he literally has 3 microphones on stage, and each one is dedicated to something different in his show. So one of them, the one on the far left, is the stand-up mic. It's just the normal stand-up as you would watch any stand-up comedian do.
So like observational comedy as opposed to like one-liners or impressions.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. So like what you would think of when you hear stand-up. The middle one was dedicated to like just emotional stuff because he deals with like depression and anxiety and all that stuff and like severe stuff. So it's dedicated to him like being really honest and dark almost.
But also tinges of funny, I hope, for a comedy show. Because I've seen like the Mike Birbiglia show, I think I've bitched about on this show before. Just like an entire hour and a half of this guy I loved laughing at in high school, just talking about how his divorce was hard. Like,
really?
I assumed a comedy show, but if I'm just getting a life story, function this. Yeah, I might have cursed a little. Sorry, Mama.
Uh-oh. No, yeah, you're right. It can get a little overbearing, but no, he does it in a very entertaining way. Like it's not all funny. Like the purpose of the middle mic is for, just raw emotional stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he throws in like comedy within it and
depression. Ha ha ha.
Depression. Am I all right? No. So the way he does it too, like it's even if it is all like just really heavy stuff, he sets up each. Oh, let me first explain the other mic first. And the one on the far right is a mic completely dedicated to just funny one-liners.
So did he like jump from mic to mic, or was it like smooth transition between mic to mic? Because I'd be like in the middle of after he finished one of the stories, he just like rushes over to the one-liner mic, does a one-liner, and then goes back to the stand-up mic.
Well, the way it was organized, it was actually pretty cool and pretty smooth. So each segment in each mic, because he would kind of alternate between the mics throughout the entire show. It wasn't just like, one line here, one line there, and then whatever. So each section was about 5 to 10 minutes, give or take. He would spend at each mic, and then he would kind of wrap it up with something like a final line that wraps up that one segment. Yeah. Then the entire theater goes black, and then he moves to the other mic. So he's obviously moving around, but you don't see him. And then the lights come back on.
Right.
He's at the other mic.
Okay.
And then another 5 or 10 minutes, and that's kind of how the thing went. And it was really funny, and it really, really relatable, especially if deal with a lot of the dark shit he deals with.
Yeah.
But
the other comedian you went to, you actually saw live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved all of it. Hassan Minhaj, who's a correspondent on The Daily Show, he has a special that's out on Netflix now called Homecoming King. And because he's like a Muslim Indian, immigrant, all that stuff, the most relatable show I've ever watched. Like everything he talks about, I related to. And so I went to see him in Boulder, Colorado, quite some time back. I think it was like last fall. And it was the same show. It was a Homecoming King show. This was when he was touring with it. And then the Netflix special came out. He recorded it in California somewhere. I think Davis.
Cool.
But yeah, it was a really funny show, really relatable. It was less of a stand-up show, more of a one-man show.
Okay.
Because it was similar to the Neil Brennan thing, in like where he would talk about real like heavy stuff, but then obviously like just cut it in with like a lot of hilarious shit.
Right.
But there was a lot of visual stuff going on too. Like there was a giant screen behind him.
Oh, cool.
That he would kind of coordinate with that. So when he would start telling a story, there would be something happening on the screen behind him that relates to the story. And,
got it.
Cool shit like that.
Okay.
So really funny, really relatable, really well done.
I love stand-up comedy. It's just like I haven't watched some in a long time, just because it's like I'd watch the classics. Like I think Nick Swartzen's original stand-up after he did Grandma's Boy is probably one of my favorites, just because he has so many just ridiculous stories to tell about the production of that movie, plus working on Reno 911.
Oh yeah.
And just being Nick Swartzen in a Nick Swartzen world. But yeah, no, it's just like I saw Louis C.K. came out with a new one.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen it?
No, 2017.
Oh, I want to see it.
Me too.
Yeah.
But and then Amy Schumer came along and just had to disrupt the entirety of the Netflix rating system because everyone friggin' hated her.
Oh wow, you are salty.
I am. It's like I never know what to watch anymore. It's like, okay, cool. Netflix is suggesting this is 81% of what I kind of like.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I try to understand it.
And so it's like I just want like a 4 or 5 star. You know, if it has a 4 or 5 star, I will have no problem spending a little time watching that. But if it's like 81%, what if I was just feeling weird and wanted to watch some, My Little Pony?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because it's 81% compared to nothing. At least the stars, it's like however many stars compared to a full 5 stars. So like, you know what it was relating to, but 81% to what?
Exactly. They're just like,
no
you watch The Flash and this and this and this. Oh, you'll love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, no duh. But
like, I'll like it, what, 90%? What the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. And so it's just, and I blame Amy Schumer because it was like her...
Was it confirmed that it was because of her?
Yeah, because it was... So everyone rated her thing. Like, literally probably... Okay, so probably not literally every person. But everyone that did rate it, the overall majority was as little star as you could give, which was 1 star.
Really?
And so like the last chance we saw of any of the rating system on Netflix, 1 star on the Netflix Presents Amy Schumer episode.
Oh, you saw it. It was actually at 1 star at a point?
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly at 1 star. And then just everything was like, oh, Netflix is kind of fixing their boo-boo by putting this very, hopefully, disposable rating system in for a little while just to, like, come back from that because...
Jeez.
Yeah, no, she's terrible.
Because it's not even like the YouTube type of, like, rating where you have a like and a dislike, and then based off of the like to dislike ratio, you can figure something out. It's just, I don't understand the percentage, man. It kind of pisses me off.
Right?
Like 82%. Whatever.
Anyway, moving past me being even more bitter. I'm very bitter this episode, sort of Amy Schumer, just in general. Thank God my girlfriend dragged her mom to Snatched instead of me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That movie just looks like, it's one of those movies, it's just trying to get seats, like butts in seats, Yeah. It's not even like... It's not a well thought out comedy movie. Yeah. Granted, I haven't seen it, but it just seems, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Those like comedy movies are just like...
Trainwreck was all right, but that's because I got to see... Really? I liked seeing LeBron James's other side.
He's good.
Right?
He's surprisingly good at comedic acting.
I agree.
But
and then I always loved Bill Hader. Yeah. But, the rest of the Amy Schumer parts is just like, you dumb idiot. Give more time to Bill Hader. Anyway.
So we mentioned movies.
Yeah.
Earlier, John.
We did.
Which you love the movie more than anyone I've heard about. Nailed it.
English.
Nailed that sentence so hard.
Try it again in Arabic. See if I can get it then.
انت كنت بتتكلم عن فيلم حضرته وحبيته اكتر من اي واحد تاني انا سمعت منه.
Yeah, no, that didn't help at all. I was fascinated that came out of your mouth.
Well, see, at halfway through, I was like trying to like, because the first half I was like, this is actual. I'm actually speaking Arabic. The second half, I was like thinking of something else.
Yeah.
And then at the same time trying to speak Arabic, and I definitely, if anyone speaks Arabic, I messed up grammatically like crazy in that second half. But in my defense, I was thinking of something else. Anyway.
King Arthur. What he's getting at is I really enjoyed King Arthur. Both for the lead, whose name escapes me.
Charlie
Hunnam. Anyway, he was in Pacific Rim and friggin' amazing. Apparently he's really good in Sons of Anarchy, which never really appealed to me because it's just like drama and violence and stuff, and I need some comedy in my dramas.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so he was the main actor. I almost said author. Actor. And then the director also directed the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes's.
Guy
Ritchie, and which I loved. So
I didn't know he did Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It's friggin' cool. So
that's okay. Cause sorry, I interrupted again. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, just thinking because like the fight scenes in King Arthur, I was like, I feel like I've seen something similar to this, and it's like the fight scenes in Sherlock.
Yeah. So like the scene Holmes. Where the cameras were like on their shoulders as they're running away.
Yeah.
That reminded me a lot of the like in Game of Shadows, which is the second Sherlock Holmes, where they're running through the forest while the artillery is being blasted at them.
Oh yeah.
And it just reminded me, and so I was like, holy cow, I've seen this before. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. And then the story was so cool. Friggin' love Jude Law. No matter what.
What a man.
Right? And the thing that creeped me out though were the like sewer
the octopus
Yeah.
women thing. Yeah,
it was real gross.
It was.
But other than that, just fantastic story.
Yeah.
Crazy visuals.
Oh, the other thing with the fight scenes.
Yes.
When it's like the whole style of extremely sped up and then extremely slowed down upon impact. I was like, I've seen that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's all over Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
What'd you like about it? I mean, besides the story and.
I just enjoyed the pacing.
Okay.
So we didn't get just like all the backstory and all the action parts, but we got like a good amount of time in between. We were warned before going to see it that it's just kind of like A to B to C, like really quick, really fast
build-up.
process of the movie. I can't think of the word. The build-up works.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets to the good part. And
you didn't think his growing up was too fast? Like,
see, I like
that
seeing that just because it was like you saw as the king's son, which you know throughout this movie, so it's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Just being raised, and you see his progression. Like I saw him getting beaten as a child. I saw him getting spat on and shit on. Just terrible things happening to him, and him growing from that.
That's true. I did like that part a lot. My main issue with how fast it was going was when leading up to him, like removing the sword from the rock.
Yeah.
And like him becoming the chosen one, whatever.
Yeah.
The king's son. I felt like that because he was just this normal kid who grew up in a whorehouse and kind of from there, built these really solid relationships with his childhood friends and the women that raised him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like this really important guy. And I feel like they rushed that transition from like ordinary towns kid to like he's going to save the world.
I mean, I think it just kind of went from like him seeing the whores in his whorehouse get beat up and, wanting to grow up to protect them, showing that he has that heroic side. And then him just being turning into the cocky town hero that protects the whores and has his own little racket.
Oh, it's not his whorehouse, by the way, to those listening.
Yeah, he was raised
He's not a pimp. Okay. He was raised by women who... Okay, sorry, I need to clarify that.
Anyway.
Continue.
So that's why I thought it was a really good pacing, but that's me. And you can have your opinion, that's fine. It's just... I saw it my way, you saw it your way.
Not attacking you.
I know. I mean, it feels like that, but I know you come from a good place when saying wrong. That I'm wrong, yeah. Anyway, so solid movie. I went out. There's like the movie rewards programs that I'm part of because I saw it at Regal, and I have a bunch of points because I go see movies all the time. And so I bought a IMAX poster of it, and it looks really cool, and it's gonna go up in my new house, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, it hasn't come in yet?
It's right there. It's in that brown tube on the floor. Yeah. I'll have to show you after this.
I need to see it.
But, so highly recommend. Definitely going to buy it when it comes out because I'm going to watch that again and again and again.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love a nice Knights of the Round Table story?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to be honest. I was really surprised by, like, the diversity of the movie. And it made sense because I'm like, oh, yeah, the Moors... from back then who moved from North Africa, from Morocco through like Spain and Portugal and then eventually got there. I was like, this is surprisingly accurate. Right. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. More diversity is always good.
And how there's this kung fu master in the next to the whorehouse.
Oh, it's so crazy. Oh man.
And all those cultures coming together.
Dude, all the actors and actresses, just all amazing.
Right.
In that movie. And Charlie, what's his face?
Henneman.
Whatever. His performance. Spot on.
Yep. That's like exactly how cocky I imagine King Arthur to be.
Yeah. But like a good meaning, like a well-meaning cocky, yeah.
Well-placed
so just confident, I guess. Yeah. So
right.
What else did we watch, Jimothy?
So we take advantage of our local theater having a discount night on Tuesdays for like $5.50.
Oh, hell yeah.
Instead of everyone spending, $11, $12 or more at theaters. It's $5.50, which is totally affordable, and allows us to see more movies for less money.
I found out the theater in Aurora next to our place.
Yes.
Tickets are like $6 every day.
Every day?
Or like $7 every day. Or something like that. Yeah, because I took my siblings a while back, and it was like $24 for 4 of us.
Yeah.
So
dang, dude.
Yeah. So I'm going to be going to that a lot, too.
Yeah. And also seeing all the movies with us.
Yeah.
Us meaning me.
Yeah.
All of us inside me. The people inside. Anyway. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
Ooh,
such a good movie.
I've never cried in a superhero movie, man.
No?
Never.
Oh, man.
Never.
I don't think I have either. Like, the only... Oh, unless Logan counts, because I definitely cried in Logan.
I cried multiple times in Logan.
But Guardians of the Galaxy, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That movie was killer.
Yeah. Like, I had a little bit of a problem with, like, how the story progressed from him meeting... this is a spoiler.
No, it's not. They showed everything in the previews.
That's true. They said he was his dad.
Yeah.
Okay, meeting his dad and then getting real close and then, oh shit, all of a sudden, this is a spoiler. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie, but it came out, like a month ago?
Yeah,
so
you should be good.
He should be all right. When he found out that he was evil and that he killed his mom and all that shit, I'm like, oh wow, that's surprising.
Well, really? No, that was the part that was like, because he's like, I didn't want to put that tumor in your mom's head. And you're just like, this guy.
Yeah.
Screw him.
Yeah. That part got, because that was honestly surprising. Everything else was like pretty predictable. And then he said he don't want to put the tumor. I was like, oh no.
Like if it just so happened and, while he was there, that would have been fine. But no, he purposefully killed Peter's mom. And just...
That shit got me.
Yeah.
But I did like how Peter, Chris Pratt's character, handled it. Because usually characters don't snap out of shit pretty quick. No. But he was like, oh fuck no.
Yeah.
And then he snapped right out of it. That was well done. But
right.
I'm sorry. Again, I do it again. I'm gonna stop talking. Talk about it, John.
It's the point of a podcast.
Yeah.
But just the opening scene with seeing Peter's mom and dad is there at the young age where, they probably conceived Peter, and then immediately going to where the Guardians have progressed since we saw them in the last movie. Mm-hmm. And that was just such a great, like... It's not the opening, like I keep saying I love the opening scene, but I don't mean the very first scene where we're seeing Peter's parents. I'm seeing like where they're listing off all the actors, the directors, and little baby Groot's dancing around.
Dancing to Mr. Blue Sky.
And it's such a good and they're fighting this interdimensional beast that breathes rainbow fire.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cool scene, and they're doing it for these golden people that are real a-holes.
Those characters. I mean, I appreciate the absurdist kind of take on them. Yeah. But at some point I'm like, all right, y'all, let's take it easy. Like, they got offended, and so they created, spoiler alert, Adam Warlock. Like, even some things are a little much for a space adventure.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But overall, like, I enjoyed the fact that their little robot chips were like arcade games.
That was really cool.
And I thought that was a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And then the queen just getting so pissy that she gets in one herself. But yeah, it's just so many good antagonists. And then who would have guessed that Yondu would steal the show? Like, he was the man.
Yondu, he's the reason I cried.
Yeah.
Should we spoil it?
No. He just said something real sweet to Peter.
Yeah.
And just kind of made it real, the relationship they had, as opposed to just some random white kid that got picked up by...
Yeah, an alien.
Yeah.
And then the relationship between him and Rocket.
Yeah.
That really got me too, because like Rocket Raccoon, he puts on this facade of like, I'm tough, because, he doesn't want to get hurt.
Right.
And then him and Yondu kind of connected. And
they bond.
It was really sweet.
It was.
And yeah, besides Logan, I've never cried in a superhero movie. Like,
yeah.
I was surprised.
I don't think so either. But yeah, no, Logan definitely cried. But speaking of Logan, I told you this earlier, but the movie people have started a trend where it's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to watch this entire movie in black and white? I'm curious. I haven't watched it yet. I bought it, but I'm just like, I don't know what color adds, just because you take it for such granted, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see what differences I'll notice, and because it's a pretty it takes place a good majority in the desert and places like that. So
that's true.
It might just be
the same.
Yeah.
I think until you get to like the forest scenes.
Definitely.
Right? Because that was a very colorful part of the world. And so that might be a little weird.
The farm in Kansas where they meet the family takes them in.
That gets brutally murdered.
Oh my God.
Oh, that scene.
Oh, I was so upset by that.
Jesus. Yeah, man, it was crazy. But
Laura takes her revenge. So
yeah, that was really cool.
Works out.
Yeah.
Anyway, last movie we saw also takes place in space.
Mm-hmm.
Alien Covenant. Macaulay's first thriller.
Not first, but first in a while.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
because I don't go out of my way for thrillers.
I mean, I just like the Alien series. The Xenomorphs have always been just a badass group of beings that I've always had some respect for.
Just too phallic for me to take seriously.
Just because the artist was probably super gay or whatever. And just saw a lot of penises growing up in his Freudian, drawings.
That's what art is. It's an extension of one's being.
Yep. And but yeah, just I think they always look so cool in their little, tiny mouth inside the big mouth, and their chrome teeth, and their acid blood, and their crazy speed and stabby tail. Like, they are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh God.
And we found the origin in Alien Covenant.
This was pretty cool because I hadn't seen any of the Alien movies prior to this, and right after the movie I was talking to John and another friend of ours who was explaining, they were explaining the kind of what the previous movies
Prometheus
the previous movie Prometheus set up, and then how this relates to what's considered the sequels to these movies, which is the normal Alien movies.
So the way it went was Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4, and then AVPs, which we don't talk about, but thoroughly enjoy when we watch, just because they're just so much carnage and action and bringing two really cool alien movies together. And then we had Prometheus, and Prometheus was the learning how humans came to, like, their version of how humans came to be. It's obviously not the truth. It's a very sci-fi movie. But learning that, and then seeing the start of the neomorphs, which are the pre-xenomorph.
Those were the
aliens.
White ones, right?
Yes. And so now we actually got to see how they moved from neomorphs to xenomorphs.
It's crazy.
Michael Fassbender. Oh. And the biggest twist of the entire movie?
Spoiler alert.
Michael Fassbender was Michael Fassbender all along.
Michael Fassbender is Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. Just so hilarious. Anyway,
Would it be a spoiler to explain who the villain is?
Yes. You kind of don't get that, and it literally came out on Friday.
That's true.
Like a week ago today.
Okay.
So I'd hold off, just because I know I hate things getting spoiled for me, and then like having to stop listening just because I haven't seen it and I plan to. So
that's right. That's a good point. Well, okay. I will say this though. I love the villain in this movie.
Agreed. He is
she.
daunting, and just overall, I don't really know how to describe him. Like, it's a he. We'll give you that much.
Okay.
Because it's never it's in all these alien movies. There's always the female protagonist who always is like, maybe she'll survive, maybe she won't, maybe something's gonna happen to her. But
that's surprising, because when did the first Alien movie come out?
80s.
That's surprisingly progressive for like the female to be the lead role.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the protagonist, she's cool. So I kept trying to figure out the entire movie where I've seen her before, and she was Tina in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. She just looked much different with the very short hair and the grieving over James Franco.
James Franco was just there to be James Franco.
Yep. He was in the movie for all of 5 minutes.
Not even, man.
Yeah, no. First scene.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it was great.
And then the rest was
him in
you
don't
pictures.
Even realize it until after the fact when she watches the movie or the video of him, and it's just like, oh my god, it was James Franco the entire. So they got Danny McBride as one of the characters in the movie, and from every movie we've seen, they're pretty good friends. Like This Is the End, and what other movies is he in together? I just think they're good friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just weird casting and very thriller-esque movie that I enjoyed because Alien kicked butt.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. A lot of holes in the plot.
Yeah,
but
you can expect that with any movie that has a following and contingency between the other films.
Yeah.
So,
but no, it was. I'm back on board with the whole thriller, genre. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out, y'all.
And then we moved away from that to laugh a little.
Yeah.
And we watched
and feel and love.
Oh, felt so much. I had to turn it off. I was so feeling or sympathetic for their embarrassment or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did we watch, McCowie?
Master of None, arguably, in my opinion, one of the best shows ever.
Season 2 came out 2 weeks ago.
Something like that. Yeah. May 12th.
May 12th.
So about 2 weeks ago.
And it was so good.
Oh man, it was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best seasons of TV I've seen in a long time.
Just so many artistic episodes and
really well thought out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think of it?
I laughed so much, and there was just like, it's not the Parks and Rec, like, you, this is how you described it to me, but it's not the Parks and Rec humor. It's not like just, hey, funny line, laugh. It's like just situations that they find themselves in.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a weird combination because it's not funny to be funny, right?
No.
It's like,
it's
funny
real
because life can be funny.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, this is a perfect, you know, I can't even really describe it. Like, this is a perfect example of how the world and life kind of is.
Yeah. And I learned that I need a 7-foot-tall white friend named Arnold, and to be a tiny Indian man is my dream now.
Yeah. We all need an Arnold in our life, and we all need Aziz Ansari's confidence. Because he is a confident man.
He is,
and I'm
even
envious.
as Dev.
Yeah. So it's really cool, man. But no, what I love about the show, it's very emotional, but like not overbearing. It's like it's more realistic, you know? It's like life can be emotional.
Shit happens and then you get over it.
Exactly. You know, the love stories between him and like you know, the different characters.
I mean, we don't see much of Rachel in the second season.
Yeah.
Except for that, was it the last episode he bumped into her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of worried me for a second. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah. Bounce back, baby.
She's gonna just throw a wrench in the whole thing. Because like I really liked Francesca, who's played by, oh my god,
her name's super Italian. Wait for it.
Alessandra Mastronardi. What a goddess of a woman.
Beautiful.
Oh lord. Because like I was really digging their relationship, and I'm like, oh no, Rachel's gonna ruin it all. But
they just have so much fun together. Aziz met her while studying the art of pasta in Modena,
yeah,
and Italy.
Yeah.
And just
it was just a weird situation because
I mean, it's like, so that was the thing though. It was like we see her in the first episode, and then we don't see her again until like episode 8.
I think a little earlier, but yeah,
like but it's late. Just like that's the biggest part of the season.
Yeah.
But there's so much that's happening in between. Like there was this one episode that I really loved. It was called First Dates.
Yeah, that was really good.
It was so great. He meets he goes on all these like Tinder dates. And just you see all the different types of people that he would randomly find online and get matched with, and like the process behind that of just like they show people just looking at their phones like in the shower or on the toilet, and they're just like, oh, why not?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just.
And the way that episode was organized was very interesting.
Yeah, because you just go like from the same. He goes to the same restaurant for all the first dates.
Yeah.
And then goes and does fun stuff, and then he finds out the chick's a racist, and has sex with her anyway.
It was crazy.
Oh, it's so great.
So, do you think that was your favorite episode of the season?
I'd say First Dates is probably my favorite episode.
I think my favorite episode was the Life in New York episode, or whatever it was called, the one where it follows all these different people throughout New York.
It was pretty cool.
It was so the whole premise of that episode is it starts off with like Dev and his friends walking somewhere, and then they see like a taxi advertisement for a movie, and they start talking about it, and then from there it goes to like this doorman and follows him for a little bit, and then to this deaf girl who works at a shop and follows her around. An interesting thing about that part of the episode is it all goes silent,
and it just completely, I thought all my technology was failing me. It's so abrupt. Once you figure it out, it's pretty cool.
It's such a cool, because she's deaf obviously, and she's the focus of that episode for that moment. It follows her and her relationship and her friend.
See, I thought so this was the weird part when they're talking about the pizza scarf.
Yeah.
And then she's just like going off on it. It's like, why haven't you got down on me in forever? Like that whole part, and she just keeps signing vagina, and this lady walks up and she's like, could you please stop signing vagina so much? My kids know ASL. And then you see these two little kids running around a store just doing the vagina. Anyway,
yeah.
I thought there was like, it just went to this parallel dimension or part of New York where everyone was deaf and like signing could be loud. And I don't know, like my mind went in so many different places once the sound just turned off. I'm like,
freaked out.
I did. Like if they would have been playing music while they were doing this, I would have been so okay.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it was nothing, no sound whatsoever,
which is crazy, because that's the cool thing. It's like, I don't think that's never happened. I don't
like
think.
No score behind the show whatsoever.
Like literally silent, completely dead silent. And I thought that was really cool. And then it would follow like these other characters, and then like this African guy who's a taxi driver, and all his like African taxi driver roommates, and
they go clubbing.
Yeah, and then how bad it fails because they don't have girls with them, and then how awesome the night ends up anyway.
Right.
And then all of it just kind of comes together in the end, where everyone that we followed around in the episode is watching the same movie in the same theater at the same time. And I thought that was really cool.
And it was a really cool episode.
Yeah.
And then you learn more about Chef Jeff.
Oh, what a dick.
And how he's the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, not the worst, but it's just like, I had such high hopes. I was like, Dev's finally going to catch his break.
Yeah.
Everything's going to go well. And then...
And I like that kind of just like that bombastic, just like, I'm confident. I like who I am. And I'm like, yeah, that's dope. And I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
He's a shit.
And then H. John Benjamin comes back for this season, which he plays Archer and Bob.
Yeah.
And I like Benjamin. Yeah. What was that? What's that voice for?
No, I love this show so much. That's why.
Got it.
And whenever I like something a lot, I just kind of...
He's internalizing his feelings.
Oh, and I will say this. Oh, man. The second season, the love story in the second season, so amazing. It is.
It's much better than his and Rachel's on the first.
It really is. That's why I was worried.
She just like dumps him and moves to Tokyo and dyes her hair red.
It's kind of...
It's weird.
Dickish.
Right?
But, you know.
Anyway... so a lot of stuff going on these last couple weeks, and we apologize again for just being gone for so long.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to cut this episode a little shorter just because we know you have important stuff to do. We don't, but we know you do. And that's really all I got to say about that. Macaulay, what do you have to say to the good people as we sign off?
Please watch Master of None.
That's a good sign off.
Oh, man.
And if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, go have a fantastic night and see the movie.
Yeah, and make sure you hydrate so that way your tear ducts are full of tears.
But also, your gut's going to be hurting from laughing so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Drax is the best.
Drax and his relationship with
Mantis.
It's amazing.
That's pretty great.
Where can they follow us, John?
We're Not Cool. And Twitter
is at possiblydope.
At possiblydope. My apologies. I don't do Twitter, so I don't know the jargon behind it.
How about on Facebook?
Facebook, We're Not Cool.
Or
at possiblydope.
Yep.
Because that's still a thing.
Yep.
Facebook /possiblydope.
Yeah.
Gmail, possiblydope at Gmail. Or, yeah. Email us at possiblydope@gmail.com.
Or follow us on Instagram at Not Cool Podcast. That's the one weird one.
Yeah.
Because Possibly Dope was taken.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let us know if you have any comments, if you had any opinions you feel like sharing and we'd enjoy, which we would love to hear from anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone. Literally anyone.
Please drop a comment.
Right. I'm talking to you, Tim. I know you listen now.
Tim, you are the reason me and Johnny Boy here met.
Right. So we need to hear from you.
Yeah. Let us know. Just
reach out. Reach out, Tim.
Come on. Validate us, please.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We've had a blast talking, and I have more to say because Macaulay's definitely not looking for the outro music.
Oh, I'm not. Keep on talking. It's fine.
You enjoy the movies, and when you go to movies, don't be assholes and talk or do anything disruptive. Yeah,
don't be a dick.
We're all paying the same money to see the same movie.
Exactly.
If you've seen it 3 or 4 times, that's fine.
Yeah, and please don't chomp on your popcorn with your mouth open like it's your fucking job.
Yes, it's beautiful pantomiming.
Bye.